Well, UFC 300 was a pretty fun card to watch. I even got to host a viewing party here at my place, which is pretty awesome. Get some good buddies, get coming together, watch some good fights, watch some knockouts, occasional boring decisions, but you know, um, for me, like close for most of the fights from beginning to end, I would say it lived up to the hype, and you technically had three championships on the line at 300. So, um, Alex Pereira, your light heavyweight champion. The guy is a monster. He's running through the competition. He's beaten like five champions before, and the fact that this was actually an easy fight, what he made seem like it was easy, being Jamal Hill and retained the light heavyweight championship. Now, if you guys remember, Jamal Hill was actually the light heavyweight champion before he got injured, and he had to give up the title voluntarily, and the title was up for grabs, and eventually Alex Pereira ends up winning the championship, and um, now he not only does he wants to defend the title, but he wants to go to Brazil, which is the next card on May 4th. Um, Same night as Canelo fights Manguua. Um, I'm actually going to be at the Foodieland Del Mar. Um, so that should be pretty fun for that May 4th. But May 4th is UFC 301. There'll be a lot of fighters from Brazil because it's in Rio de Janeiro, I believe. And should be an interesting card. And the fact that Alex Pereira wants to fight on that card, I have a hard time thinking, is anyone going to stop him from doing it? Anywho, he also talked about he wants to fight at heavyweight and challenge the heavyweight champion, which is the interim champion Tom Aspinall, or the current world heavyweight champion um, John Bones Jones. And if that ever happens, oh my gosh, I am totally gonna watch. I kind of want to see how Alex Pereira does against those two guys, because that is going to be a blockbuster main event no matter where they're going to do it. And I think it will probably happen at some point. But that should be a lot of fun. So, Alex Pereira only needed like less than 3 minutes or something to defeat Jamal Hill. And I actually thought this was going to go quite a few rounds, maybe 4 rounds, 3 rounds. And I was going to I was gonna say Alex Pereira was gonna knock out Jamal Hill, but it happened within 3 minutes. So Alex Pereira, man, to take out one of the best in the division that easily, man, the sky's the limit for this guy, and uh, guy is a beast. So can't wait to see what happens next. He's like must see TV now. Um, Jamal Hill, I believe he actually took on a fight with Khalil Roundtree Jr. I think it's at 303, UFC 303, and I'm kind of curious about that because I would have figured Jamal Hill would either face Ankalev, maybe, um, or maybe even, yeah, I would say Ankalev would have made the most sense, um, or fight fight Jury actually, Piri Pochaka. But we'll see what happens with Alex Pereira. Who's his next challenger going to be? If it's for the title, or he's going to go up to take another title, because he's already been the middleweight champion. He's now the light heavyweight champion, and now he has eyes set on the heavyweight champion. So scary, scary, scary guy. But who can stop him? Um, we also had a co-main event. We got Zhang Wei Li going against Yan Zanan. Um, she she had a little bit of struggle in the first round of her strawweight title defense, but for the next 4 rounds, um, Zhang Weili pretty much had it in the bag. She dominated since then, and kind of like kind of like silenced the doubters and impressively defeated Yan Zanan to retain her strawweight championship. So let's see what happens. I kind of want to see Tatiana Suarez challenge Zhang Weili. That should be a good matchup. Um, um, we also have the BMF championship. Your champion was Justin Gaethje defending it against Max Holloway. You knew that there was literally going to be no defense in this fight. Probably mostly striking. And wow, just wow. And now, despite there were a few eye pokes and then there might have been some sort of, I don't know, low blow somewhere, but other than that, these guys were slinging back and forth. Um, they had their moments, but honestly, the thing that Max Holloway does in a lot of his fights, and I don't know if a lot of fighters are somewhat gullible to actually do this, but he would call you to the middle of the octagon and say, just fight right here. He did this with 10 seconds to go in the 5 round fight with Justin Gaethje, and guess what happened? Um, uh, wow. For 10 seconds, or 9 seconds actually, Max Holloway knocks out Justin Gaethje after they threw all these haymakers, all these bombs, and the last one that Max Holloway threw knocked out Justin Gaethje, and he face planted and was like hunched over with his face on the mat with 1 second left apparently. So that was amazing, and Max Holloway is your new BMF champion. Kudos to Max Holloway. We did have a fight between Charles Oliveira and um, Arman Sarukian. That one kind of went how I expected it. Charles Oliveira probably was going to get a couple of submissions, but Sarukian fought out of it, survived it, and then for the next couple of rounds, Sarukian um, dominated a little bit more than Charles Oliveira and got the decision. So kudos to Sarukian. And then there was a fight between Cody Brundage and Bo Nickel. And honestly, wow. Bo Nickel got the victory by decision, I believe. But it was a little tougher situation for him. But kudos for the victory, Bo Nickel. Then we do have a feature prelim that I remembered. It was Jerry Prochazka and Alexander Rakic. That one had some good back and forth action. Rakic did have the upper hand at certain times during the fight, but in the end, Jerry Prochazka turned it on and he was able to finish off Rakic. And he smelled blood and he went for the kill. And Jerry Prochazka, he's climbing with his way back up the light heavyweight rankings, so he might challenge Alex Pereira. I wouldn't mind if those two guys run it back because that's going to be a great fight. Kayla Harrison made her UFC debut. Judo gold medalist. She was a mainstay over at the PFL, but now she's in the UFC. And her first opponent was former bantamweight champion Holly Holm. She's the first lady to beat Ronda Rousey. But in this case, Kayla Harrison took care of business, and I believe she submitted Holly Holm, I believe. So, got her to tap out. Kayla Harrison used her strong traits, used her ground game, made sure that she played her game and not played Holly's game. So, kudos for Kayla Harrison for doing such a great job with that. Can't wait to see who Kayla Harrison's going to fight next. She might be fighting Juliana Pena, or she might fight their champion Raquel Pennington and get that bantamweight championship. So we'll see what happens. There was one other fight I want to talk about. There's Figueiredo, your former flyweight champion. He took on Cody Garbrandt. It opened up UFC 300. That was a good fight. Cody got some really good striking in there. Um, Figueredo did not like that at all, but um, Figueredo managed to get around that, and he was able to submit um, Cody Garbrandt. So that was a good fight. So I actually got 11 out of 13 correct on the UFC 300. I'm proud of myself for getting most of those fights right, and especially Alex Pereira defending his championship and retaining, and the fact that he KO'd Jamal Hill, that was kind of like icing on the cake. I mean, the only ones that I got wrong were um, Jessica Andrade. I had her losing, but she defeated Marina Rodriguez. It was like split decision. It was very close. And I messed up on the Max Holloway one. I had Justin Gaethje winning that one, but Max won. But I'm actually okay with that because the way how exciting the fight was and how it ended was the highlight of that fight. Um, so one more thing I want to talk about. NBA playoffs just started. Lakers won their playing game. They beat the New Orleans Pelicans. So they were in eighth place, and they were able to steal the seventh seed and won 110, 106 in doing so. But because they stole the seventh seed, or earned it, um, they earned the right to face the defending NBA champions, the Denver Nuggets. And as of last night, if you guys have been watching, um, Lakers got the jump on the Denver Nuggets, but the Denver Nuggets kept their poise and they got the Lakers in the third quarter and then just ran away with the game and they won 114-103 last night. So Denver Nuggets are up 1-0 in the best of 7 with the Los Angeles Lakers. So hopefully the Lakers can regather, go back to the drawing board, come up with ways to stop Jokic and Murray, and hopefully the Lakers can make this a series. I'm hoping 7 games. Hopefully the Lakers might upset the Nuggets. Cross my fingers. Um, Padres did actually have a kind of a thing going on. They actually beat the Dodgers 2 out of 3 in LA. They beat the Brewers 2 out of 3 in Milwaukee, and they beat the Cubs 2 out of 3 when they were here in San Diego. So it looked like they were doing pretty well until the Padres lost 1-0 to the Brewers in that last part so that the Brewers could salvage the series. But because they lost 1-0, meaning they scored a donut, it somehow made the Padres lose next 2 games to the Toronto Blue Jays. And now they're on a 3-game losing streak. So that whole entire hot streak they had going on, or just like winning series and stuff, and they're looking pretty good until that game, and then all of a sudden 3 games in a row. So they can't seem to flip the switch to being offensive, and pitching can't hold up anymore if the offense doesn't match it. So there's that. And one more thing, LA Kings, they made the Stanley Cup playoffs, NHL playoffs. They won their last game of the season, so they were able to get the 3rd spot in the Pacific Division, which means they don't need to go outside the division because there's 2 wild cards in each conference, the Western Conference and the Eastern Conference, and depending on which 2 wild cards had earned their playoff spot, if it's the worst wild card, they have to face whoever is the top division winner. And the other wild card, the better wild card, they would actually be facing the lower of the 2 division winners. So what's great about this is that the LA Kings, since they got the 3rd spot in the Pacific Division, which guarantees them a playoff matchup with the 2nd best team in the division, the Edmonton Oilers. So because of that, they avoided the worst wild card because if you had the worst wild card, you would have had to face the number 1 team in the Western Conference, and that was the Dallas Stars, who earned the number 1 in all of the Western Conference. So, so the team that actually ended up um, getting the worst wild card actually was the Vegas Golden Knights. Now they have to cross over to the other division and face the top division winner of the Western Conference, which is the Dallas Stars. Um, so in this sense, LA Kings, if they get through the Edmonton Oilers, they will then be probably facing the other division winner, their own division winner of the Pacific Division, the Vancouver Canucks, which is actually a more doable matchup. And if the Kings beat the Vancouver Canucks, then it sets up a date with the Dallas Stars, who would most likely make it to the Western Conference Finals. So that's with that being said, good luck to the Kings. I'll be watching as much as I can. The Lakers actually supposedly, so because they got the number 2 seed Denver Nuggets in the first round, if they somehow get past the Denver Nuggets, they are going to face the winner of the 3 seed um, Minnesota Timberwolves and the 6 seed Phoenix Suns. Phoenix Suns got blown out by the Minnesota Timberwolves. So maybe, just maybe, the Lakers might get the Denver Nuggets and they will face the Minnesota Timberwolves. Cross my fingers. The number 1 seed is actually the Oklahoma City Thunder, who's going to face the 8 seed New Orleans Pelicans. And who knows? Lakers might get to beat the Nuggets, might beat the Wolves, might beat the Thunder, and might beat the Boston Celtics, who's number 1 over in the East Side. So, well, that's all from me, guys. You know the saying goes, boom, Tiggy Maximus. Signing off. Bye, guys.